up, dudes? HW here. Today we're going to talk about humbucker cleans, how to get little humbucker cleans, how to make them better. And I'm going to give you 3 little tips to make your humbucker cleans better. I'm playing, some gear in front of me. I got a little Kemper. You could do this on anything though, Tone X, your amp, whatever. These tricks are really not that hard to do on any other guitar or any other modeler. You just got to understand the concept. Now, this is a question that I get consistently. I'm talking consistently. People hate when I slurp in videos. My bad. It's hot coffee. It's a hot pot of coffee in the evening time. Shouldn't be drinking coffee at 6:18 in the evening, but I am. Because I got to go driving in like a little bit and go pick up somebody. One of my kids. Kids always have so many activities. Anyway, not the point of the video. 3 tips for better humbucker clean. They do more than me. Like, I got a life. I got friends. I got a family. I'm busy. They got way more activities. I don't know. I'm always stuck here working. Anyway, top 3 tips. 3 tips that you can do really easily. So here's one thing I notice, and I was doing some of this at the earlier at the top of the video. So a lot of times I'll get this video, or I get this question, HW, do you have anything good for humbuckers? Do you have anything for Tone X, good for humbuckers? Do you have anything for Kemper, good for humbuckers? Helix. I'm struggling to get like great cleans on my humbuckers. And I know what they mean because you take like a profile or you take an amp tone or whatever, you put a single coil into it, you get all that snappy, sizzly stuff, and you plug in humbuckers, and sometimes you get a little too much grind just right off the bat. So if you go on a bridge here, the bridge humbucker will grind it up. The neck will do something different. It'll kind of also grind it up. I like to go to the middle, okay? Because there's just a little more snap. It's a little wider of a sound. It reminds me a little more of like that single coil thing, Because I can then do it like this, right? I can get on, like, take my fingers or my pick or whatever, and I can go. Like, I don't know, there's a little more snappiness of the guitar in the middle position for me. Now, the other thing I do is I try to get a little brighter of a profile. So I like to use the bright switch with the humbucker. Now, that's no surprise, really. If we're trying to get a little better clean tone, you might want something that you can kind of do that with, right? But we still have a relatively clean amp, but you get the humbucker with that drivey sound. And really what that drivey sound is mid-range. Because I think, if everyone likes to think if you dig in, like, that's cool, man, but maybe you want it real clean, right? And that's where I think, like, the one trick is use the bright switch, use a little brighter profile, but then use a little mid boost. Cut the mids out of your amp. A lot of times what people are hearing are a little more aggression and drive. And here's a secret. If you cut the middle out of your amp, like if you turn down the mids, you're actually also turning down the gain. But you're turning down the gain at just the right spot where you're not going to overdrive as much, because less signal into the amp, whether you cut the highs, the lows, the middle, whatever, any frequencies you start to cut equates to less signal overall. So cut that mid-range, get yourself a little more scoop. I got a little scoop right here. It doesn't matter whether you cut in the beginning or after. You'll get a different feel if you cut in the beginning or after, but it'll do both. If you want less gain, if you want the gain difference to be more dramatic, cut in the beginning, like before your amp. Use an EQ before your Tone X, before your Quad Cortex. Set an EQ before there. Put an EQ in the chain of your amp. If you want a little less just mid-range, or you don't have that, just turn down the mids. You'll still actually be giving less signal to the later stages by cutting mids in your amplifier. So don't be worried about that. What a lot of people don't realize is that the classic tone control setup is the bass and treble are high and low pass filters respectively. The bass and treble are high and low pass filters respectively. The middle is the overall signal. So when you crank that middle up, you're actually sending the entire signal through. It's attenuating less of the entire signal. When you turn the mids down, it's attenuating the entire signal. At the same time, a high and low pass filter is there to reduce even more bass and treble. That's why you have the bass and treble set and it's filtering bass and treble, and then you turn up the mids, it's sending more signal. You're actually going to get more bass, more treble, and you're going to get more mid-range, but because the bass and treble are going to be cut by other controls, it just feels like more mid-range, but you're actually just adding more signal. That was a long way of saying mids control mids, and they also control gain. All the knobs are gain knobs, really, especially on like old Fenders, JTM 45s, Bassmans, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so how does this get us better cleans? Well, here's without it, right? We're driving a bit, right? We're driving. And if I want to do some chords, see, we're driving a good amount there, right? But if I cut out some mid-range, a little better. The other trick is we can come over here, and I like doing this. With any of that chord stuff, I like to sort of do this thing where I take actually one of my humbuckers, and you're going to say, HW, turn it down. That's what you're going to do? No, actually, I'm going to take the tone knob of just the neck pickup, and I'm going to roll that off. And when I roll it off, it's going to sound like this. And that's not really what I want. What I want to do then is I want to turn it back up to like 3. It's a really nice sort of way to change it up. Now listen again to that. Here's with the tone all the way up, right? Here's roll that tone down to 3. Just gives the humbucker something else, you know what I mean? You can, of course, turn it up. But that's just what I like to do. HW, out.